We've come to Good Friday. Holy Week is a very special week for all Christians. And so often we think of that glorious music, the St. Matthew Passion, the Messiah, Stainer's Crucifixion, even the hymns, There is a green hill far away without a city wall, or that wonderful hymn, When I Survey the Wondrous Cross. And music can be a good window into our reflections for Holy Week. But today I'm going to use a painting, because sometimes words are just not enough to express the grief of Holy Week. We are among that great cloud of witnesses who have gone before. Mary, the mother of Jesus, John, the beloved disciple, the other Marys, the people in the crowd, the soldiers, the two men on either side on their own cross. What did they see and what did they understand was happening? Of course, in 2021, we do know what happened, and we know that we look forward to Easter Sunday and the great resurrection. What a blessing. And yet we must take time to sit at the foot of the cross and try and comprehend the rich meaning of Jesus' sacrifice. I've always struggled to bear the pain of Holy Week, the superficial adulation of the crowd on Palm Sunday, which disappeared so quickly. But I was very blessed in 2011 to go to the Holy Land on a pilgrimage, and that's where I bought my crown of thorns. And we spent quite a time just reflecting what that journey to the cross was all about for Jesus. And then more recently, in the last few years, I've found the Stations of the Cross really helpful, particularly the carvings that Eric Gill did for Westminster Cathedral. Reflecting on those made me realise that Jesus knew where he was going, and he did so joyfully. He went with acceptance that this is what his Father wanted him to do. So, the painting. Well, this Lent I've been enjoying Sister Wendy Beckett's reflections on different paintings throughout Lent. I find it really helpful sometimes to contemplate a picture rather than have to read lots of words, but she does give amazing insights. And out of the different crucifixions that she chose, I've used this one. It's the picture of Christ on the cross, painted by El Greco. It's rather an uncomfortable painting in many ways, but I want to read what she said, because she does have something important to say. Christ on the Cross by El Greco is an astonishment and a delight to me, because here, and this for me is unique, I find the passion understood rather than just shown. It was a transforming moment in my life when I, who had always found Holy Week and Good Friday almost unendurable, suddenly saw that in fact Jesus died in an ecstasy of joy. He had been sent by the Father to bring life into the world. He had done it, achieved what the Father intended. His agony, physical and emotionally, may not have been any the less. But in his will, Jesus knew the great liberation of having reached an almost impossible goal. All this I see mystically in El Greco, the intensity of the surrounding, enveloping darkness, the moral darkness of a human system that could torture anyone to death, innocent or not, is just beginning to be pierced by the radiance that Jesus has brought. That sharp and by no means comforting light shines on the scattered bones of other men who lie scorned beneath the cross. It spotlights the wealth and power of established authority as its representatives depart, the knights on horseback with flowing banner. And it emphasizes the solitude of the Lord. El Greco does not alleviate his sacrifice with grieving family and friends. No, Jesus dies alone with his God. He dies looking upwards, his determination set upon his Father's will and its consummation. But the most marvellous touch to me is the depiction of the dying Jesus, already triumphant over death. He does not escape death. He passes through it and out of it. His body spirals upwards like a white flame, radiating out as he spreads his arms to share the light with the defeated shadows. Jesus alone with his God. Well, this pandemic has been a strange time for so many. And that sense of being alone with God certainly resonated with me. And I want to finish with a poem by George Herbert. Poetry is another love of mine. And George Herbert was a great poet. This is one of his most famous. Love. Love bade me welcome, yet my soul drew back, guilty of dust and sin. But quick-eyed love, observing me grow slack from my first entrance in, drew nearer to me, sweetly questioning if I lacked anything. A guest, I answered, worthy to be here. Love said, you shall be he. I, the unkind, ungrateful? Ah, my dear, I cannot look on thee. Love took my hand, and smiling did reply, who made the eyes but I? Truth, Lord, but I have marred them. Let my shame go where it doth deserve. And know you not, says love, who bore the blame? My dear, then I will serve. You must sit down, says love, and taste my meat. So I did sit and eat. So I invite you now to prayerfully meditate on the death of Christ and reflect on who or what is God for you at this time in your life. Perhaps think on the sacred symbol of the cross, or it can be a picture or a flower or a stone, or just shut your eyes. And remember, God is an unknowable mystery, but open yourself to him. and surrender to the unknown so that the Holy Spirit prays within you. Reflect, remember, surrender.